Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden. I'll be your host. I'm joined by my co-host, Donna Dunyan.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, Donna, welcome back. We've been off for about a month and a half or
Yeah.
so.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. It's real good to be back. We have a brand new guest with us today, or a series, it's an organization. There we go. It's been a month and a half. Brand new, which is great. We're always looking for new guests to get the word out. And for those that haven't watched the show before, our mission is to provide exposure for any organization, individual, foundation, anyone that does a service for the veteran community. We're here to get their word out to you, the veteran community. So let's jump into this. We got a lot of information to cover. With us, we got folks from the Everlasting Veteran. They're out of Ledyard, Connecticut. We have Ryan Landry, the owner and founder. Ryan. We got Kevin Brown, U.S. Army retired colonel. Thank you for being here. And Tom Smith. Tom Smith is the owner of Meadow Ridge. Say it again.
Meadow Ridge Wimes and Dames.
Wimes and Dames. There we go. Anybody that's watched this show over the years know I mess up names and on a regular basis. So it's almost become comical at times. And Donna's over there laughing. How we like to start off the show is to go around the table and talk about your military background, branch, when you served, if you want, where you served.
Yeah, so I was U.S. Army, 2nd Cavalry Regiment in Germany, and deployed with them to Afghanistan, 2009 to 2012. When I got out, went National Guard, and during that time, I was trying to get hired with pretty much anywhere that would take me. Being unemployed for 6.5 months is a terrifying feeling, and we'll dive into that transition aspect and everything of every veteran goes through it when they're getting out, and it's definitely a scary feeling.
Colonel?
Yeah, I served 25 years in the United States Army as an infantryman, infantry leader. I retired as a colonel a little while ago now, and served all over the world, all over the United States. Enjoyed my service and glad to be here now, carrying on what we call Soldier for Life, a mission beyond service.
Well, I know you didn't serve.
I did not.
But you're serving now. And we always give that credit where it's due. On behalf of the viewers, the Veterans Corner, the people here at Nutmeg, thank you for your service, and thank you for your service, everything you do for the veteran community.
Thank you.
It's you are part of the veteran community, and it's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like I said, Donna, we've got a lot of info to cover. Why don't we jump right into this?
So can one of you, I don't know who's going to take the helm on this one, give us an overview of Everlasting Veterans and your mission statements.
Yeah, so Everlasting Veteran, I founded in February of this year, 2023, and I kind of said to myself there needs to be somewhat of a change to aiding in the transition and helping veterans regain purpose in their life. It took me a while to get to the point that I'm at, and I'm still a work in progress, and that's forever changing thing within the veteran community. As a veteran, you're going to continue to have transitions throughout your life and trying to regain that purpose. A lot of times veterans feel like there is a hole that's missing, but you got to understand that you're going to continue to fill that void because the operation level that you're used to in the military is not going to be there like it was before. So a lot of times veterans get into nonprofits, start their own business, and get involved kind of how we are now. So in February, I started Everlasting Veteran with the podcast to be able to give veterans a voice to be able to help with that transition, be able to tell their stories, what worked, what didn't work. Also bring civilians, people that are supportive of the veteran community in on it as well, to show that, hey, we're not in it alone, and with community you have unity, and with unity everybody comes together to be help with the same cause.
That's a message that Donna and I hear all the time, and it's a message we repeat all the time. It needs to be repeated all the time, because that's that. There's so many veterans out there that need that. I wouldn't say maybe structure.
Yeah, and a sustained connection. You know, Ryan chose the name Everlasting Veteran, and like I said earlier, Soldier for Life is a mission that we carry on after we leave the service. And it's that sustained connection, because the transition is never over. It never stops. There is no stop point where you say, I am now transitioned, right? And so the name Everlasting Veteran, I believe, carries a certain connotation that speaks to the fact that this is an ongoing process. And it's good to have folks out there who can be part of that safety net to pick you up and keep you moving along.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk into the. I mean, I was in a VFW post last night, and it's you see the same message over and over again, and that's veterans picking veterans up.
I think the biggest thing with transition is a lot of people think of it, and we were just talking about it before, is it's not a singular transition. A lot of people are in the mindset of it being a singular transition. And you have to get out of that mindset. The singular transition aspect is the military saying your service is done. And that's the physical aspect of you getting out of the military. Then comes the mental aspect, you know, whether you just had a deployment or multiple deployments or a year-long, you know, of service. Then you're dealing with that, you know, 5-10 years down the road, dealing with your transition throughout the VA. There's multiple different transition periods after you get out. So getting out of the mindset of it's not a singular transition will help you through your transition out of the military.
Donna.
Oh, so with the podcast, do you have a primary audience? Are you finding civilians are watching it too? And when do the episodes air?
Yeah, so I try to obviously, you know, cater a little bit more to the military community, helping with transition and purpose. But overall, I mean, transition and mental health can be applied to anything, especially coming out of a pandemic. Anybody can be able to watch and be able to take something away from an episode. I do bring people that have never served before. It gives perspective. A lot of times people have to get out of, you know, just hanging out with the same people all the time, whether it be the coworkers, just military people, just firefighters, just police officers, you know, because if you don't have perspective throughout your life, you're going to narrow yourself into a kind of a corner.
You know, it's a data point that's often repeated that, 2% of our U.S. population can claim that they served in the military, right? Well, Ryan's point is you can sit in that tribe for the rest of your life, or you can get outside of it. And then conversely, to your question, Donna, the rest of the nation needs to know and understand. The other 98% need to know and understand. So I think that's probably a real purposeful draw for the non-military audience to the podcast.
Yeah, and I told you earlier, I listened to one of your podcasts, and it wasn't all military. It wasn't all veteran. It was, you just had a conversation with a comedian. So, I mean, it was totally not what I've heard on some other podcasts that veterans do.
Are we not breaking into a comedy routine here tonight?
That's the second half of it.
Yeah, that's when you come back.
Yeah, and that's what I tried to do with the podcast is, you know, I talk to a lot of people of, you know, different podcasts and different genres, and, you know, the biggest thing for me is I want everybody to feel welcome, you know, and with the support network, veteran or not, you know, building a strong community, you know, for the veteran community, you're going to have people that are not veterans. You know, you're going to have to branch out and build a strong, unified community that supports each other, you know, and by doing so, you grow and you become a better person for it.
Unfortunately, the easy way is to stay in your little group.
Correct.
And that's what happens all the time. May it be veterans, first responders, you always, because you feel comfortable there. And the thing that's always being said is, well, they understand me. They don't. So they stay where they are. But it is so important to do what you've mentioned, is to break out of that and
And-
broaden your horizons.
Then you always have that safety net
Yeah,
of the people you know and your group.
you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's transition into the work you do with service dogs. Can you tell us how that all started and what that mission is for you?
Yeah, so with the service dogs, back in June, my brother-in-law, who is a Marine Corps veteran, we talked about donating a dog. He owns Rockin' Frenchies down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and he breeds Frenchies and English Bulldogs. And he said, why don't we donate a dog to a veteran? And that's kind of started the birth of the dog program. And when I thought about the dog program, I said to myself, I don't want to do anything like anybody else. I want to regain that purpose, provide purpose, because that's my main mission with Everlasting Veteran is help with purpose, help with transition. And a lot of people, if you have pets at home, you understand, even if they're not trained service dogs, when you're having a bad day, they get you. They understand. And when you're having a great day, you know, they understand, hey, I'm home. You leave for 5 minutes, you leave for 2 weeks, it still feels like you're gone for a vacation. So when a veteran is having, or anybody that has a service dog, they understand that those emotions you have go through you into the dog, and it helps the veteran. So when I started the program, I said, I don't want to just hand over a dog that's already trained. I want to be able to help the veteran regain a little bit of purpose. So I reached out to U.S. Service Animals. I talked to a bunch of other different programs, and I said, hey, what is your program all about? And they told me, well, we offer this remote training where we pay for it, we send the remote training, they're able to do it at the convenience of their home, on their own schedule. And for veterans, a lot of times, large crowds, if anybody's ever gone to dog training school or anything like that, sometimes it could be nerve-wracking. Anxiety kicks up. But being able to do it on your own schedule with a busy schedule, I said, this is perfect. And, you know, being able to get 5 dogs out in 5 months to 5 veterans, it's amazing. And having Tom and Teresa come on board with Meadow Ridge Wimes and Danes was truly a blessing. You know, and having now them and my brother-in-law and hopefully, you know, more AKC level breeders to give good quality dogs out to veterans that, you know, it can help them, truly help them.
You know, with just having been around for the short period of time you have, and to have 5 dogs already donated, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the big thing with the dogs, and a lot of times people don't realize, or they don't think about it, is it's a transition period, right? It's like having a baby sometimes, you know? Even if you have a trained service dog, or you have a puppy, right? Your family has to adapt, or you have to adapt to now having that animal in your life, right? So the way I have the program set up, if it doesn't fit, right, for that veteran, I will take the dog back, right, and be able to house the dog somewhere else. And we'll try to create better accommodations. Can we provide the dog already trained? Absolutely. But the way I have it set up is I want to be able to provide that purpose if they want to partake in the program in which I have established, because a lot of these programs that are out there, they're already handing over a dog that's already trained. The veteran hasn't even met the dog. I'm providing time where the veteran can bond with the dog first, you know, and become part of the family, you know.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything to add, or?
Yeah, I mean, for us, when Ryan approached, actually it was my wife Teresa that he initially made contact with. You know, when she brought it up, it was important to us. You know, fulfilling some of these things that you talk about. You know, we had talked a little bit. I have military folks in my family. I've never served, but you know, I got military folks. I've got first responders. So you know, sensitivity to that community is something that was important to me. It was important to Teresa. You know, she has that in her family. So when this opportunity came up, it was something that we really wanted to jump on. You know, it was important to help support. Some of your points about, you know, bonding with the dogs, that's very, very important. We find as, you know, as the puppies, when you know, we give do the whelping activities and that type of thing, we separate them down. And with Teresa and I, we were down in the whelping box the whole entire time. We're down with the dogs. They're not something that you just kind of, they're feeding time. That's the only time you do it. And it's amazing how the personalities start to come out. And that time that you talk about bonding, that's a very important period. It's one of the things that we always try to stress to folks is, spend time with your puppy. Make sure, have fun with it, bond with it, get to know it. Because, that period where they're most receptive to that, it starts to taper off as they get a little older. So.
Yeah, that bonding is so important.
Yeah. I mean, look, we spent time in a deployed environment in a tight, cohesive unit, and then that unit splintered, right? And this dog and this mission, this is hyper-focused mission to bond and train this dog, it really helps recreate that environment, and I'll break out my Maslow's cereal box, hierarchy of needs here, existence, relationships, and growth. And having that dog, at the simplest level for a lot of folks, you think about the fact that it's safety, security, and comfort, right? The existence level stuff, and it's true. But the thing that Ryan is talking about is this bonding and this growth and this cohesive relationship you're building with this dog. I mean, that's Maslow stuff right there. And then to the point about the mission and focus that it provides a veteran, that's what we're overly conditioned to do, is have a mission and accomplish a mission. And I think that's what's unique about what Ryan's doing with this program, with the dogs that are being provided.
These shows go by so fast. We got about 7 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
One of the things I'd like to touch on is some of the success stories. Can you share with us one or two?
Yeah, so since the inception of Everlasting Veteran, we were able to get another veteran that wanted to transition to become an entrepreneur down in North Carolina, fully funded his LLC. And like I said before, the birth of the dog program since June of this year, in the last 5 months. We're able to get 5 dogs out to 5 veterans in 5 months. It's a blessing to have the amazing support, in the veteran community and the community as a whole, across the country. It's not just Connecticut. The first dog was donated in North Carolina. I drove down, packed my family up, went down to a 2-day veteran event in North Carolina, because I said to myself, Everlasting Veteran is not going to sit in a little corner of southeastern Connecticut. This is something that every veteran is welcome to partake in.
With this show here, it's going to be throughout the state.
Yeah. So I packed my family up, and the journey began. So we are able to break 7,800 subscribers on YouTube, which in a short period of time is
It's amazing.
amazing. The outpour of support is phenomenal.
It's a testament to your passion.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't understand what goes on. I don't have a big team or anything. It's me behind the scenes doing a lot of stuff. The dogs, that's on with the breeders and stuff, and the help I get from them, and certainly Kevin and his help and dedication to helping Everlasting Veteran as well. And that's the testament to the veteran community, and as an officer, as a sergeant, in the military, those values that we had in the military or still have even when you get out, hold on to them. What the military taught you in the military, you can apply those values and teachings. And I just told him before we started that, in the non-commissioned officer creed, the one that stood out the most is, you complete your mission in the absence of orders, coming from, officers, and it's the same thing when you get out. Those orders don't come down, it's on you. So
That's
Yeah,
why
and,
that's
you
why
know,
we're all still here.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, officer NCO relationship here, right? So the officers, you're taught to accomplish the mission, right? Take the hill, accomplish the mission, achieve the objective. But the other two things you have to do is you have to do it with an efficient use of the resources you have available, and then most importantly, do it with the welfare of your subordinates in mind. So when you take the uniform off and that mission is done, guess what's not done? Caring for the welfare of those subordinates that you were teammates with or deployed with. That will last for the rest of your life. It's lasting for the rest of our lives. And that's where the passion and inspiration comes from to keep doing this kind of thing.
So before we run out of time, tell everyone how they can find out more information about Everlasting Veteran.
Yeah, so everything I try to keep up to date, everlastingveteran.com. All the information for the dogs, the podcast, everything is on everlastingveteran.com. From apparel to anything that we're doing is there, and be able to get newsletters as well.
If they want to get involved,
Yep,
it's the same.
the same thing.
Yep, they can go there and simple, and everything comes to me. I've had people email me through the website. It goes right to my email address, everlastingveteranct. I added the CT just because it started in Connecticut, everlastingveteranct@gmail.com, and but you can go through the website and it goes right to me.
Perfect.
We have less than a minute left. It goes by fast, and I like to tell the viewers, initially this was supposed to be a two-parter,
Yeah.
but what we're going to do is we're going to have you back,
Yep.
maybe in January, in January,
Yeah.
and we'll do a two-parter to really get in more detail some of the stuff that you do.
Well, hopefully by then, the Everlasting Veteran Foundation starts sprouting its legs a little bit. That's the next step for this mission.
We're here to help.
We'll bring a dog. We'll send a dog.
That'd be a great thing. With that being said, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's always nice seeing new guests.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have repeats. New guests. Once again, it's our mission to get your word out. So, with that being said, thanks, Donna. Thanks for.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. That's all the time we have. Want to sit there and thank the viewers for watching. Till the next time on the Veterans Corner. Good night.
Follow us on Instagram at nutmeg.tv.
Sometimes life just happens. Don't worry. Farmington Motorsports will get you back on the road and at a fair price. From towing to tires, emissions to transmissions.
Our ASC certified techs do it all.
Farmington Motorsports is a family-run business. We're Napa Auto Center and AAA approved. We work on all makes and models from preventative maintenance to major repairs.
And every repair is backed by our 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty.
When life happens to you, don't worry. Farmington Motorsports.